Hello and welcome to another episode of our Decades Legacy Challenge. We are here with the Harjo family and our Haskins children. They are here to stay with their mother for a couple of days. They were going to come and stay with her for the weekend, but they didn't really want to wait, so it is Wednesday and they've decided to go ahead and come on over. It is really early in the morning, as you can see, but they're all just standing here outside. I've just moved them into the household here with Annika, and we are going to see what it is like living here with her for a couple of days. They are hopefully going to have a couple of things that they can do with their mom, and we will have a good time with her here at the house. But I did just want to go ahead and show you where she's living. This is her house, and so let's take a look at the home, and that way you guys can see what it looks like. This is the upstairs, and she has a small room here for the kids. It just has some bunk beds and a couple of little toys for them. She just kind of threw something together for them. She has this nice big library here upstairs, and she has her main master bedroom. And then downstairs we have a full bath and a kitchen, and then just a little small living room here. It really is a tiny house, but it is good enough for her needs. She doesn't really need anything major because it's just her that's living here, but she did throw together a bedroom for them for when they wanted to come over and visit. So let's go ahead and jump in and get started with the gameplay with these guys and see how all of their needs are. It looks like everyone is kind of feeling pretty good. No one is really feeling super tired except for maybe little Leon. So we are going to let him go ahead and go upstairs and get a little bit of rest because it is 3 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to let him go ahead and go on up to bed. And Annika is feeling pretty good. So everyone is doing pretty decent. So we love that. She is going to have the kids for a couple of days time. It is 2003, as we know. She does have some things here at the house for the kids to play with. There's a sandbox and like this little water pad and some swings. There's a couple of toys out here in the yard, a basketball hoop. So there's some things here for the kids to play with so that they don't get bored. But she knows that they will probably want to go and do something, so she has a plan to take them to the apple orchard, and maybe they can go and pick some apples or do something fun like that. So we will probably take them to do that at some point. I don't think she has to work. I'm not really sure, but she does have a thing here that she wants to quit her career, and so we'll probably let her do that. She is non-committal, as we know, and because of that, she wants to quit her job. So, as we know, she had obviously gone through a little bit of a midlife crisis where she was struggling with the fact that she didn't like her life, and she was like, I hate everything about my life. I don't like that I'm married. I don't like that I'm a mother. I don't like all of these things. Well, she also doesn't like her job. So she's wanting to quit her job. So we're going to let her go ahead and quit her job. That's going to make her feel pretty happy. She did get 25,000 simoleons in the divorce. So she has that money that she's going to be able to kind of live off of for a little while. And she's like, I will maybe figure out what I want to do with my life. But in the meantime, she doesn't really, she's not really that much worried about the career aspect. She just knows that she wants to kind of live life and have fun and not really have to worry about the constraints of a 9-to-5 job and things like that. So Annika is just really wanting to live her life. She wants to start a new relationship, and she wants to be happy with just kind of dating around, starting up a new, fresh relationship and not having to be, maybe tied down to a serious, committed relationship like a marriage. But she does want to find some love. She likes those kind of romantic feelings that come with a new relationship. So she wants to do that. And as we know, she was dating someone, and so I don't know how that relationship went. Arvin, she has a little bit of a relationship with here, but they have a little bit of bad compatibility. So I don't know if they're really good for one another, but they do have a little bit of romance. So the kids are just kind of spending a little bit of time here chatting, and we're going to go ahead and get Annika to maybe make a meal for the kids because they are starting to get a little bit hungry. So she's going to need to cook for them. She, you know, obviously hasn't been taking care of kids in a while, but she is going to have to get in the habit while they're here visiting of taking care of a family again. So we're going to have her make some breakfast scramble for the family, and she'll just go ahead and cook up some food for them. And it looks like Siobhan is sad because she's not in her bear form. Okay, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. So Joe's just going to come in and talk with Mom a little bit and just be like, you know, how are you doing? Are you okay with us being here? Like, I know you had invited us over and you said that you wanted us to visit, but, you know, now that we're here, like, how are you actually feeling? Because I know that it's a little tense for you having us all around. And she's like, I'm fine. You know, everything's going to be okay. We'll adjust. And he's like, all right, I just didn't want you to, you know, stressing out or anything. And so he's talking to her about cooking, and they are, you know, just trying to kind of bond a little bit over breakfast. And we love that. He is going to go ahead and grab himself a little bit of a meal here because he is feeling pretty hungry. And we have now food here for anyone that does need to go ahead and grab a meal. And then everyone that needs bed can go ahead and take themselves a little bit of a sleep once they're done eating. So I'll just have him come up and take himself a little bit of a nap once he's done. And let's go ahead and get the girls to take a nap as well because they all could stand for a little bit of sleep. They were up pretty early this morning and everyone's kind of getting a little bit tired. So I'm just going to send them up and let them have a little bit of a nap. And that way they can be rested up for the day's events, whether that be they decide to play or they do decide to go ahead and go visit a lot. We do have a ice cream shop in the world. We also have the orchard, and so Annika could possibly take them to several places and let them kind of have a little bit of fun. They didn't used to go a whole lot of places, but she's like, you know, I don't, you know, like being a homebody sim. I like being out in the world. So I think she would definitely take them places and let them get out and experience life because she likes to get out and experience life. Like, that is the whole thing about her. She wants to be out. She wants to experience life. She likes to be out in the world meeting new sims. And that was part of her problem of why she hated her life so much, was she felt so boxed in, so closed up, and like she was losing her own identity. And she was like, I'm not my own person anymore. I'm just a wife. I'm just a mother. And I hate this life. And this isn't what I wanted. And I want out. And now she's in this new place. She's got her own life. She can do whatever she wants. She doesn't have to answer to anyone. And she is ecstatic. As you can see, she's feeling fine. She wants a new relationship. She's quit her job. She's walked out on her marriage and her kids, and she's feeling great now. And, you know, yes, she likes visiting with them, and yes, she, you know, enjoys seeing them occasionally, but she doesn't have to answer to anyone, and that's the way she likes things. So she's happy with her life now the way it is. So everyone here is just getting a little bit of rest. I'm going to send her up for a nap as well. And they're all going to get a little bit of rest. And then when they get up, we'll probably take them out and let them go ahead and go out into the world a little bit. And we will get them to, you need to go to the bathroom, Siobhan. And we'll let them go see the town, basically. Because I think Annika is going to be like, let's go do something fun. And they're going to be like, well, like what? And she's like, whatever we want. The sky's the limit. And they're going to be like, oh, okay. All right, so Siobhan is needing to go ahead and get a little bit of insulin here. So we are just going to go ahead and inject her with a little bit of insulin. And the other kids are doing fantastic. And now that Annika has gotten a little bit of sleep, we are just going to go ahead and we are going to travel with everyone. And we are going to take everybody with us, Rachel, Siobhan, Joe, and Leon. And we are going to go out into the world. And we're going to go to the ice cream shop. I think would be a nice thing for her to take them out. It is a nice spring day. The weather is lovely. So we are going to go out to the Sam's Sweets and More shop. And we're going to go and have some sweets. And I think Joe and Siobhan would be like, you do realize we're diabetic. And she'd be like, oh, it's fine every once in a while. And they're like, it's really not. But she's not thinking about that. She's just thinking about, let's go and have some fun. So we have arrived here at the sweet shop. We are going to go ahead and go on in here. And we are going to... Can we order anything? Oh, I don't guess we can. There's not a register here. Or is there? Is there a place upstairs? Does anyone work here? Can we buy groceries, it says. Let's see what it says we can do. Maybe we're not going to be able to do what I wanted here. So let's go ahead and just take them to the apple orchard. She'll be like, well, I guess they closed up shop. And they'll be like, that's probably a good thing considering we're diabetic. And she'll be like, they used to have such great sweets here. And they'll be like, yeah, well, that's too bad. So we're going to go over to the apple orchard and, all right, we're going to visit the apple orchard. All right, so they have come here to the apple orchard and they're like, oh my gosh, I've never seen so many trees in all my days. And she's like, it is beautiful, isn't it? And they're just kind of looking around and I don't think they can get any apples because it's out of season, but can they get anything in here? They're like, what are we supposed to do here? And she's like, I just wanted to show you the orchard. Like, isn't it gorgeous? And they're like, yeah, but there is a playground here. And so they're able to like play on the playground and look at the trees. And she's like, I just wanted you to see this place. And they're like, yeah, but it's better in the fall. We could actually like pick the apples. And she's like, yeah, but it's nice to come here and see, like, this is where people, you know, come and pick the apples and they grow them. And so they're spending their time here growing all these apples. And they're like, yeah, but Mom, we can't pick these apples right now. They're not in season. And she's like, I guess I didn't really think about that, son. And Joe's like, you're not prepared at all for these outings. And she's like, it's just nice sometimes to get out of the house. And he's like, Mom, these plans aren't going well. Annika's like, at least I'm trying. At least I've got you out of the house. It's more than your dad's ever done. And he's like, don't be like that, Mom. And she's like, I'm just saying. At the end of the day, it's nice to just get out of the house and go and do things. So she's a little frustrated that the kids aren't a little more grateful that she's gotten them out of the house. But as you can see, Siobhan's feeling really sad that she's not in her bear costume. And the kids are kind of feeling bored because to them, this is a boring trip. It's a boring outing. It's just a bunch of trees. And they're just like, we don't understand what we're supposed to do here. And Siobhan, of course, is feeling super confident. She's thinking, I have nailed this. Like, I'm a great mom. I've, you know, taken them to the sweet shop. Of course, you know, I can't do anything about the fact that, you know, the sweet shop was closed. I also can't do anything about the fact that the apples aren't in season. But it's nice for me to have gotten them out. As you can see, Charles is over here. He's talking to Maggie Hines. I don't know who that is, but he's obviously getting to know someone new, which is nice that he's out and about as well, getting to know new people. But the kids are just spending time with each other. And as you can see, Annika has gone off on her own. She's not even spending time with her kids. The kids are just bonding with each other. And she's like, are you guys going to go play, or do you want to like just go home? Like, you don't want to be here? And they're like, we just don't understand why we came here, Mom. There's not anything we can do here. And she's like, fine, let's just go on home then if you're going to be like that. And they're like, well, we could probably do more things at home. At least at home we've got like some toys we can play with and things like that. Like, I understand that you were trying, Mom, I really do. And she's like, I just wanted to get us out of the house. So they're going to go on home. She's still feeling confident like she got them out and about and out into the world. But the kids are feeling like it was a wasted trip, and they don't understand what exactly Annika's trying to prove or what she's trying to accomplish. But she's just trying to show them that there's more out there in life and that they need to grab the day by the horns, basically, and just, you know, put themselves out there. So she's like, you just, you know, you have to go and just try to make something of every day. So now that we are back to the house, I am going to go ahead and let the kids go ahead and come grab themselves some food. It does look like Siobhan is feeling a little bit hungry, so she's going to grab some leftovers. Rachel's feeling pretty good, and Leon is feeling pretty good. So we love that. Annika is just going to go ahead and grab her mail, and then we're going to let them do some playing, I think. So let's go ahead and get some swinging in, and you can swing as well. I guess they can't use this play toy. Can you use this play toy? No. But you can play here, right? No. Some of these toys, they can't be used, it would seem. So Annika's just playing with little Leon here, which we love. They are spending a little bit of time together and they're bonding, which is great. I love that for them. She's like, I've got to get him in a better mood because Leon is, you know, feeling a little bit upset. He is needing to go to the washroom. I don't think there is a kid potty here on this property, so he's having to go in his pants, which we don't love. But, you know, Annika wasn't really prepared. She, like I said, just kind of threw their room together because she wasn't expecting them to really want to come and stay here. She wasn't expecting them to actually want to visit, and she never really thought they were going to come stay overnights and things like that. And so she was like, they're not going to want to come do that, and I don't know that I'm going to want them to come do that. But then the more she started visiting with them at their house, she was like, maybe they should come and visit at my house. Maybe I want them to actually do that because it's nice for them to come and see me. It's nice for me to see them. And I don't necessarily always want to see them at Charles' house. Maybe I do want to see them at my house. And so that's why she had them go ahead and come and stay like over here at her house, because she was like, obviously, you know, if they come to my house and see me, it just is more ideal that way, because then they can actually get a little bit more time with me and I don't have to see Charles. I don't have to deal with him. And it's just better for everyone. So everyone is kind of feeling a little bit tired. I'm going to let them all go and take a little bit of a nap. And once Annika has finished up with her nap, she can come down and maybe make a meal for everyone. We'll do something that everyone can eat, something like meatloaf maybe. So we'll get her to make some meatloaf for supper. And Joe is going to need to get to the washroom. All right, you can stop shooting around and go take yourself a nap. Yeah. So everyone's going to take themselves a little bit of a sleep just because it has been a long day. They had a lot of activity. And even though their plans didn't really go as planned, they didn't really get to get any sweets at the sweet shop. They didn't really get to pick any apples at the orchard. They still had a great outing with their mom. They got to go see these places. And so it was a bustling, busy day. And so they're a little tired. And so they're like, you know, I figure I need to obviously go ahead and get a little bit of sleep. Charles has come over to the house to visit. Clearly he's missing his kids, and he's like, I want to come and check on them and make sure everybody's doing okay. So Joe's going to go answer the door and let Charles in, because Charles is a helicopter dad. And so he's like, Dad, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm worried about you guys. Is everything okay? Are you guys doing all right? And he's like, come on in, Dad. And Charles is like, seriously, are you guys doing all right? Is Annika taking care of you guys? Is everything good? And he's like, everything's fine, Dad. Everybody's upstairs taking a little bit of a nap. We went out to a sweet shop. And he's like, a sweets shop? You guys are diabetics. And he's like, I realize that, but we didn't buy anything. They were closed. And he's like, oh my gosh. And he's like, Dad, I've got to go get some rest. Charles is thinking to himself, this is ridiculous. It is just like Annika to take them to a sweet shop knowing they're diabetics. Like, what is she thinking? So Charles is a little upset by the fact that Annika would take his kids, their kids, to a sweet shop knowing that they're diabetics and they can't have sweets. And he's kind of upset by this fact that she would, be as, that irresponsible. But obviously he's a little worried. He had to come check on them. He obviously misses them not being at the house because he's not used to the kids not being around. He is used to seeing them every single day, and the fact that they're not at the house, he's desperately missing them. He's just like, this is so strange not having them around. Like, what am I supposed to do without the kids? And so he's come over to see them. He's come over to check on them and to make sure everything's okay. And obviously he wants to be sure that, they're taken care of and that they're being fed and all of those things. Obviously Annika's going to come down and she's going to say to him, like, what are you doing here at my house? And he's going to say, I'm just, checking on them to see if they're okay. And she's going to be like, of course they're okay. Why would they not be okay? And he's going to be like, well, I just wasn't sure if they were going to be all right with you. And then I found out that you took them to a sweet shop. And she's going to be like, it's fine. One little sweet wasn't going to hurt them, but we didn't get anything anyway. So they're going to, have a little bit of a conversation if he ever comes back down the stairs. He's obviously up there checking on the kids. So he's just making sure they're all okay. As you can see, he is checking on them, but it does say here, some Sims are just so good at being mean. Their well-crafted, rude comments can seem almost admirable. Rachel is in awe of how effective that rude interaction from Leon was. Leon must have spent a while coming up with something so venomous. Could this mean Rachel likes malicious interactions? Okay. I don't think that Leon could be that venomous, but I guess Leon did something that was a little bit mean, and Rachel absolutely loved it. But Charles is going to head on down now. He's going to go have a conversation with Annika. He is just going to tell her, like, I needed to check on the kids. And she's going to say, this is my time with them, Charles. And he's going to say, I understand that, but I missed them. I needed to check on them. You didn't want them, remember? And she's going to say, I understand that, but it's still my time with them. And he's going to say, well, you need to be a little bit more responsible with them. I understand that you're trying to, make up for lost time or whatever you're trying to do. But, they are diabetics. You do have to watch their diet. So you need to be more responsible. And she's going to say, very good. Like, you've made your point. And Rebecca's calling and she's like, remember when we talked about Arvin Robles? We went on a very nice date. Now you're dating Arvin? Okay, great. So the meatloaf has been made. I'm just going to get Rebecca here to grab a serving of meatloaf. And I'm going to get Leon to come down and grab a serving of the meatloaf as well. And I'm going to get Annika to also grab a serving of the meatloaf because she's feeling a little bit hungry as well. Joe and Siobhan are taking a little bit of a nap, and Charles has come back upstairs just to kind of watch them. He is really unsure if he should leave them here or what he should do. He's just like beside himself, honestly. Charles, you should just go on home. And she's just going to tell him that. She's just going to tell him, like, you need to just go home and stop worrying so much about them. They're fine. I have got this. I realized that I didn't want them full time, but I can handle taking care of the children. I'm not going to harm them in any way. They're safe here. And he's like, fine, I'm going to go. She's like, yeah, go. So he's going to leave and go on home. So Leon and Annika are just in there, and they are just having a little bit of a conversation, and it looks like this woman that Charles was dating has come over to talk to Annika. I don't know why she's here, but we're going to answer the door and we're going to see what she has to say. As you know, that was the woman that had a little bit of an interest in Charles, and then they decided to just be friends. But now she has come over to talk to Annika here. And Annika's going to be like, hi, how can I help you? And she's going to be like, I just wanted to come over and say hello. I am obviously a friend of Charles, but I just wanted to hang out for a little while. And she's like, I don't really know you all that well, and I obviously don't have any, reason for you to be here. I don't have any reason for you to be at my house. You need to go away. So she's going to send her off and just say, like, you have no reason to be at my house. Please leave. All right, Rachel, you need to go to the washroom, and you, sir, need to go to bed. Let's get you to clean up a little bit, Annika, because the house is a little bit messy. And so we'll get you to clean up a little bit, and then we can obviously go ahead and get you into bed. It is about 8 o'clock at night, so we are going to just have everybody start wrapping things up for the evening and getting themselves ready for bed. Joe is just eating something really quickly, and then he's going to head off to bed for the night. Siobhan is just doing a little bit of crafts, which is fantastic, and then she's going to head off to bed. And Rachel is heading herself off to bed. Leon is already snuggled up into bed asleep, which is beautiful. And everyone's going to go to bed for the night and get themselves some shut-eye. And Annika's trying to think, before she went to sleep there, she was thinking, what can I do with the kids tomorrow to get them out of the house? Because I don't want them just hanging around here at the house because it's just boring. And she's like, maybe we can go to the park. Since obviously the sweet shop and the orchard was a bust, she's wanting to do something fun with them. So she's thinking maybe they can go to a park. So we may do a park tomorrow. So they are all in bed, and I will see you guys in the morning. So it is about 2 o'clock in the morning. Annika has woken up. She has to go to the washroom, and unfortunately she is missing out on her dreams. So she has decided that every time she's around her children for an extended period of time, she starts feeling like she's missing out on her dreams. She is really, really tense and angry, and she's like, oh no, the old nagging feelings have returned. What am I going to do? It's every time I'm around my kids. And she's like, this is not good. I haven't felt like this since I've been on my own. And now these feelings are back. And it's because the kids are here. And she's freaking out because she's like, what am I going to do? And as you can see, she is really, really upset. She's going to try to calm herself down in the mirror because she's like, I don't need the kids to see me like this because, the first day that we were together, I held it together. But now I'm clearly upset. If they see me like this, they're going to know it's them. They're going to know that I'm not okay. And I don't want them to know that them being around is causing me to feel this way. She's like, but I clearly can't be around them. Now she's sad because she feels like she has no purpose in life. So she is right back to where she was when she was living with Charles. And it is because she's around the kids. And she's like, what am I going to do? She's going to go in her room. She's going to go cry it out. But now Siobhan is up. She's heading down the stairs to go to the washroom. And she's about to pass her mother in the hall. And she sees her mom and she realizes her mom is not well. And she's like, oh no, what's going on with mom? and she realizes mom is not okay. And she gets this nagging feeling that it's got something to do with her and her siblings. And she's like, great, we've upset mom. And Siobhan instantly feels bad about that. She doesn't know how to fix it, but she's like, I need to tell Joe and Rachel that we've upset mom. And Annika is thinking, how can I get rid of the kids? Like, I told them that we might go to the park today, but I just need to take them back to their house. How can I get them back to Charles without it looking suspicious? Can I cut their visit short? Because I just need to get back to being by myself again. So Annika's wanting to get rid of them. She's like, I thought I could do this, but clearly I just can't. And I just need to be on my own. And so she's going to call Charles and she's going to try to have a conversation with him. She's going to ring him up. It is like 4 o'clock in the morning, but she's going to call and she's going to chat with him and she's going to say, he's going to say, what? I'm trying to sleep right now. You can call me later. And she's like, this is serious. I need to talk to him now. So she's going to call and she's going to try to chat with Rebecca and see if Rebecca's up. And Rebecca's like, no, I'm asleep too. And she's like, great, what am I going to do now? Everybody's asleep. I'm going through a catastrophe right now. I just need to get these kids back to their house. And everyone, obviously, in this house is asleep other than Siobhan. And she's like, I can't just like wake them and go and like drop them off at the doorstep. Like, that's clearly not something that I can do. But it's literally what her mind is telling her she needs to do. And she's just like, how am I going to do this? Rachel is now up. She's, feeling in a playful mood. She's going to come down and she's going to try to have a conversation with her mom. And she's going to realize that her mom is not in a good way. And it's not going to take her long to realize that they're the reason mom is in such a bad mood. So Rachel is pretty intuitive, I think, and is going to realize the reason mom is so sad is because of the children. And she's like, why are you so sad? And mom's like, oh, I'm just having an off day. And she's like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, don't worry about it. And Joe, unfortunately, is needing some insulin. So we're going to go ahead and give Joe some insulin here. And Joe's like, what are we talking about? And Rachel's like, mom's having an off day. And he's like, an off day. Mom, are you feeling your old feelings again? And Annika's going to be like, he's going to like impishly pester her and be like, are you back to feeling like you don't like us around? Is that what the problem is? And she's going to be like, I don't need this from you right now. And he's going to say, let me guess. It's us, right? It's always us. You can't stand when we're around. And you don't want us, right? You can't stand us being in here. And you want to get rid of us, right? That's what the problem is, right? It's just us all the time. We're the problem with you. We're the problem and everything's better when we're not around, right? And she's going to be like, actually, I'm sorry, but yes. So she's going to tell him meanly, yes, that is what it is. I don't like having you guys around. I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel. So she's going to go back upstairs and she's going to go cry it out. She's feeling very angry now. She is upset. She's like, I'm over this. I don't want, to have to deal with the kids. I don't think that I can do this anymore. She's going to call Charles and she's just going to tell him, like, I think you need to grab the kids. I've made a mistake. He's like, I'm still sleeping. Are you kidding me, Charles? Is that all you do is sleep? But she is like really, really angry and she's like, I can't do this. Actually, school's about to start for them. So they're about to go off to school, which we love. So they're all actually going off to school. So she's like, oh, good. They're going to school. I don't have to deal with them. That's even better. But then we do have, little Leon that she has to deal with. So Leon is probably hungry. She's like, I'll give you a bath. You're dirty. Let's get this food out so that he can eat something because he may get hungry. And then Annika's going to call Charles back and she's just going to tell him, I need you to get the kids. And he's going to say, why? What happened? And she's going to say, I thought I could do this. I really did. But I woke up this morning feeling exactly like I felt when I lived with you, when I was married to you, when I was trying to take care of everything and everybody. And I'm clearly not able to do this. And he's going to say, are you kidding, Annika? You're their mother. Like, you have got to get over this. And she's going to say, I clearly can't. Wow, Joe is actually the very first student to finish his writing assignment. He starts to raise his hand to show the teacher, but reconsiders. Maybe he can score extra points if he draws a picture to go with it. Draw a picture. Joe's teacher sees him doodling and comes over to check his work. Frowning, she picks up the paper, circles 5 spelling errors, and insists that Joe use the remaining time to do it all over again. Oh, dear. So she's talking to Charles and she's telling him, like, I can't do this. I just can't. You're going to have to come and grab the children. And he's like, I cannot believe this. This is ridiculous. And she's like, it is what it is. I'm sorry. But you're just going to have to do what's best for them. And what's best for them is getting them back from me. And a teacher caught Joe looking at another student's test during class and sent him to the office. Well, let him take the retake the test. So we are going to go into Managed Worlds and we are going to split the household up and we're going to send the children back to Charles because clearly Annika is not able to take care of them and she is at her wit's end. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so we have picked the kids and put them back in the house with Charles. He has gotten Leon here. We have our family back the way it's supposed to be. Leon is just outside here playing with a toy. He's back home and he is none the wiser that his mom has clearly lost her faculties. And we have obviously got to send off Charles and Rachel to work because they are both late for work. So we're going to send them off to work and let them get themselves off to work there. And Leon is going to go ahead and go off to daycare. So we are going to go ahead and do that. Rachel is playing on the slide when she notices that an upper grader has split her jeans. The tear is not in a good place and a bit of pink cotton is showing through. Should she let her know? Yes, tell the girl. Rachel walks over and taps the girl on the shoulder, then whispers into her ear. Blushing, the girl mumbles something and runs off to the girls' room, one of her friends following. Rebecca has been assigned an intern to train and manage. How should she handle her intern? Assign her tough tasks. Rebecca tries to throw the intern into the deep end, but they aren't really up to the task. She gets a performance gain small. Okay, the kids are back from school and Rachel, Joe, and Siobhan all have now a C in class, which is wonderful. We are up from an F to a C. We love that for our kids. Siobhan is needing some insulin, so we are going to go ahead and treat her. We are so proud of our students for getting their grades up. We're going to go ahead after she takes her insulin and we're going to get her to feed the animals. We love that. And then we're going to get everyone working on their homework because they need to breeze through their homework for the day. So we're going to get them doing that. Leon is still at daycare because the parents are still away. So they will be home shortly, I'm sure. The maid has been here at the house cleaning up. We love that. And we are just going to get this. I'm just going to, oh my gosh, it's $900. Well, we're going to replace that. Everyone has completed their homework. How are their needs as far as everything goes? Rachel needs to go to the washroom and so does Siobhan. And Joe is doing okay. We love that. All right. And we are going to have him go ahead and just play with the cat here. Why don't you pet the cat? and give it a little bit of love because it is acting like a little bit of a crackhead. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't know what its problem is, but we're going to brush it and pet it and talk to the cat. He's going to be like, are you okay? Like, what is your problem? Why are you, acting like a fool? And I'm going to get Siobhan to play with the dog. If I can find Boris. Where is Boris? Where is Boris? Oh, there's Boris. Boris is in here asleep. Okay, so we'll just leave Boris alone. All right, and everything seems to be okay. We're going to let her do a little bit of something fun, and we love that. Charles is home from work. He brought home good money, and so did Rebecca. We love that. How are you guys' needs? It's doing pretty good. I'm just going to get someone in here to make supper. We're going to serve some dinner. How about some butternut gnocchi? And Boris is in here playing in a puddle. We're going to tell Boris to go potty. And we're going to tell Boris to not lecture about playing in puddles. Come on, come do that. Boris has learned not to play in puddles. Okay, we love that. That is fantastic news. We're going to kiss Boris, and we're going to get her to brush Boris. Can you brush Boris? She can hug Boris, and she can talk to Boris, and she can brush Boris. And then throw away this poo. Someone said eating dirt was okay, but someone else said eating dirt will make you die. Is it okay to eat dirt? No, eating dirt is really unhealthy, and your manners will increase. We love that. All right, Charles is just fixing supper here, and once that's done, everyone can go ahead and have dinner for the night. And it is almost 7 o'clock in the evening, so we love that. We are heading towards 2004, which is fantastic news, and we love that. So everyone is back home. Charles is loving the fact that the kids are back because obviously, he missed them while they were gone. And he's like, I'm so glad that everyone is back. And Rebecca's just going to call everyone to the meal after she puts the laundry away. And everyone's going to come and have some supper. So we'll sit down and we'll have supper together. We freaking love that. So everyone's going to come have supper, and that will be wonderful news. And she's just brushing Boris, getting him all cleaned up because, he's kind of dirty and needs a good brushing. And it's, going to make Boris feel better. It obviously makes Siobhan feel good to take care of her dog. We love that. And it gives her some responsibility as well, taking care of her pet. And Charles, why are you eating again? You're not hungry still. Okay, fine. Whatever. You do you. So everyone is just going to take care of their needs here and eat and go to the washroom. And then we will get ready for bed for the evening because it is starting to get a little bit late. And we will get ready for, tomorrow. All right. We love that. Go to the bathroom, get ready for bed. Rachel's giving Siobhan a hard time, which is not necessarily ideal, but it is what it is. And everyone is just getting themselves ready to go to bed. It is almost 8 o'clock at night, so they're all going off to bed. As we know, Rachel likes to sleep in the tree house, so that's where she's heading. So everyone is getting ready to do that, and we are heading into 2004. So that is fantastic. This has been another year that has gone off without a hitch. We were able to go and spend some time with our mom. The kids obviously got to spend some time with her before she unfortunately did not do well with us visiting her, and she kind of realized that we were the cause of why she loses her mind and doesn't want to be around. And the mother, Annika, was like, they're the reason why my life is falling apart and I feel like I'm missing out on my dreams. I don't want to be a mom. I thought I did, but I just don't want to be a mother. I don't want to have that responsibility. And I mean, it's okay to visit with them, but I don't want to raise them. I don't want that. And she sent them back to Charles. And she just wants a single life, and she wants to date. She wants to be in relationships, but she doesn't want kids. And it is a little late for her to be finding that out, considering she has 4 children. But unfortunately, that is the way it is. And she just does not want to have anything to do with them as far as on a permanent basis where she actually has to be responsible for them. So these guys are just heading off to bed here, and it is unfortunate that this is the way it has to be and the way that Annika is obviously being with them, because as we know, they love their mother. They just want a relationship with her, but she obviously just can't do it. Anytime they are around her for extended periods of time, she instantly gets tense and angry, and her life starts to unravel. She starts to unravel, and it's just not ideal. So there is that. But guys, I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you guys are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode of our Decades Legacy Challenge, where it will be 2004, and we will be heading into Love Day, and we will hopefully see Charles maybe seeing Angel and getting a little bit deeper into that relationship, and they will hopefully be able to do something fun. Maybe they can go out on a date and build on their relationship, which will be nice to see. So I will see you guys then. Until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.